It's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock. Welcome back to The Girls That Get It, where we navigate entrepreneurship through the quadruped theory. I'm Shakila, a.k.a. Kai.
I'm DJ Junius.
And I'm Ashby Hunt.
And we are back for episode 25.
25. Who would have thunk it?
25. Corazón pinto.
It's like you better stop playing.
What
She better stop
happens?
playing with these people.
What happens when
She just turned
What happens,
bilingual. As soon as the camera
I am
starts,
bilingual.
we need a Babbel
You is
Don't
sponsorship?
play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it.
that's my mom's like favorite line.
Is it?
She be going like this. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. I'm like, what are them children over there teaching you?
All the things.
lyrics.
All the things.
All the things.
Them little rats.
Mice.
Rats
baby
having
mice.
tulips.
Right. Okay, so if you guys watched episode 24, we started a new thing. So we were talking about wins
Yes.
and side eyes.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about, what is the topic? A win is a win.
A win
first.
is a
A
win.
win is a
No
Okay,
win.
so
matter
we're
how
going to talk about
small.
what a win. Yes, no matter how.
Big, no matter how small.
Yes.
A win is a win.
So talk about your win for the week.
Win,
win
for the
for the
week. Let me think. Win for the week. I'm going to just say, my win for the week? Oh, my win for the week. This ain't really a win.
Okay, it is
It's
a win.
It ain't really
Give
a
it
win.
to me.
I know how to clean. I didn't know I knew how to clean, and I know how to
You
clean.
forgot how to
I
clean.
forgot how to clean.
She
Forgot
sparked
you
her
forgot that
memory.
you knew how to clean.
Yeah, and my cleaners, they tried to play me.
Yeah.
And I came through.
And you bust that thing down.
I did it.
Look at you.
Which was so
I did
totally
it.
unnecessary for
What we need.
For
What, you need.
what we needed.
what we needed. Yeah.
But
I
you-
did it.
But you did it.
I did it. Now I know I don't have to depend on anyone for anything.
But you better.
Look, Hunt came home. But how about this? Hunt came home talking about, yeah, we firing him. I'm like, no, we ain't.
X-ray on that mission, motherfucker.
Exactly. No.
That was not the
enough
goal.
I already don't have enough time in the day.
Right.
I already do not have enough time in the day.
Outsource.
No.
Somebody else to do it.
Like a mother.
But
You
so
got
that's
me
my
messed
fake
up.
win.
Listen.
You got me bent.
What's
That's
your
my
win?
grandma.
Right. What's your win?
It's always like when my cleaner texts me, sometimes I get like a little bit of like anxiety, like, I hope she ain't canceling.
Yes, I
Like,
hope she ain't got nothing to do.
right, exactly. Yeah.
And I knew the thing is, I'm always the one. He's always confirming with me first.
Yeah.
But for some reason, yesterday I sent it early. He didn't respond right away. I
You
was
like, oh,
this is
something
looking
up.
crazy. Yeah.
Something is
What
up.
happened?
Because I don't know. We're on our normal routine. It might have been because they had to double back. Remember
Okay.
last time?
Oh.
They didn't do that well. They had to double back.
You
And
think
they
they
said
quit
they
on you
offered-
altogether?
No. I think he just pushed me out instead of like us sticking with our normal schedule.
Thinking,
Yeah.
yes, that would
Yeah.
have compensated.
That
for
makes
it.
sense. And probably schedule something else.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your win?
My win has been a solid 5 days of showing up to work on time.
Oh, that's a huge win.
A win is a win.
A
It's a
win is
and
a
when
win.
I say on time, I mean I'm always on time, but I'm
mean
always
early.
walking in right when it's time to work. But this week I was there early, set the room up, started my coffee, and I was there waiting for people.
That's a
Okay.
vibe.
That's a vibe.
No,
That's
that's
a
a
vibe.
that's a big win, actually.
It is. It's different.
Huge win.
It's a
Yeah.
much different morning than my normal mornings.
Yeah.
But the thing about me is I set up my room for the first client. Well, actually for the whole day.
Yeah.
The night before. So it's not like when I'm walking in, I have to set up a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just usually I'm walking in right when it's time to get started for work. But getting there a little bit early, it's just been different. And
Yeah.
it's been a vibe. And I've been
That sounds like a vibe.
I've been on a way.
I love the accountability.
Man. That's
I
lit.
love the honest conversation with yourself. Like, all right,
Sometimes-
we gotta.
Sometimes I just do it. You know, sometimes I surprise myself.
And it feels good. That's the thing. It's like once you do it, you see how good it feels.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I will say that. But it's just really me flexing these muscles. Because I be up at Orange Theory, so I'm just like rolling along, getting my breakfast, getting my shower, and scrolling on in.
Yeah.
Also, a large part of it, too, is not being so hyper-focused on doing my makeup in the morning. So that can make me, like, have to start right on time. But your
Yeah.
girl's been focusing on the skincare
Yeah.
and just living in that.
There we go.
Yeah.
How about you, Kai?
I would say me being a amazing parental sister.
Okay, that's a win.
So my baby brother is here for the summer, like he always comes for the summer. But this year he got him a little job.
Got a little gig.
He turned 11, and if you guys have seen our previous episode with Tiffany Loren Productions, he's been working with Tiffany. She hired him to do some acting, so he is elated for the summer to be doing
That's so
that.
cute.
That's
And
exciting.
she's been so happy with him as well. Yeah, she's like, I wish he lived here. So yeah, it's been great. It's been like fun to see him excited about something. Yeah, he's been asking for 3 years to do these things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
his dreams is coming true.
yeah, so that's a win for me.
That's a huge win.
Yeah, somewhere for him to go. I ain't got to think about where he got to go during the day.
And yeah, like a camp or
Going
something.
to work.
Go get your coins.
Right. No, seriously.
So you can buy your new
And
school
speaking of
shoes.
coins, he'd be like, did my money come?
Yes.
I'd be like, what money? You eating that money right there? Them wings
I'm
you
telling
right?
Right.
At some point, you're going to learn you got to pay your way.
You got to pay your way.
That part.
Hard
that
lesson for
part.
young men.
Yes.
Learn now. Teach them young.
Yes.
Groom them
Teach
up.
them young.
So what are you guys side-eyeing?
Traffic. bitch.
Traffic?
I'm side-eyeing this traffic, yo. It's so interesting because Atlanta has become a city where it's not so much traditional work. So between the hours of 9 to 5, you would think everybody would be clocked in somewhere and the streets would be clear. But
We live in Atlanta.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't been that way in a long time. But when you be out there in it, you just get angry. And I be side-eyeing. And I want people to go somewhere.
And get,
And
sit
out
down.
my
Get a
way.
job.
And get out my way. I don't care where you go.
You saw that reel, the meme or whatever, and the guy was like, people keep asking me what I do for a living. I live in Atlanta. It's
living
lamb
his
chops and
life.
the hookahs all day. What are you
All
talking
day.
about? I live in
Right.
Atlanta.
And
He
mimosas all day.
I'm
And
done.
mimosas.
I'm done.
All day.
I'm
Absolutely.
done. Whatever that narrative is, shut it down.
Yes.
Stop it.
We full.
Immediately.
I am side-eyeing, might get a little bit of luck. Friction
Kitty
for
back.
this.
Let me see.
I'm side-eyeing the braiders, the braid girls.
Uh-oh. It's their season, baby.
Well, okay,
is
it could
their
be your
season.
season, but
Okay.
you have a responsibility to service people in the proper way.
Yeah.
So I understand that a lot of times, we stick braiders in the group of braiders, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the times, but hair care should be super important too. And you don't just do anything for the dollar. Like you listen, and your services take a long time. So you should obviously you're charging the price that you feel like you should deserve or whatever. But be cognizant of other people's time as well. So yeah. I'm just struggling a little bit with a lot of like breakage and things of that nature.
Yeah. Based off of, what is it? Is it like the clipping to make the braid neat at the end, or like what?
It's the clipping of the hair. It's the on the scalp braiding that is too tight.
Too tight. Okay.
And then the quality of the braiding hair
Okay.
that is snapping people's hair.
Gotcha.
Cutting corners left and right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's trash. We hate it because at the end of the day, like, again, if you're a professional, if you say your dollar amount is what it is and people are willing to pay it, you should be able to ensure a certain experience. And that would not include snapping of the hair.
yeah. Oh, I'm side-eyeing restaurants too.
Huh?
I'm side-eyeing restaurants
Listen,
too.
I'm side-eyeing a restaurant so serious I don't want to name drop they ass.
Offline, tell us,
you
please.
Let me tell you. And the thing is, it's on Juniper.
Okay.
It's a steakhouse.
Ooh.
It's got a $65 salmon.
Ooh.
And it's not.
And it's not snapping. That snapper ain't snapping.
That's what I'm side-eyeing.
audacity.
That's what I'm side-eyeing.
The audacity.
And it was supposed to be blackened. Wasn't a black on it.
Oh.
And I didn't eat it there, so I ended up taking it home. I got home like, what is this? This is
Yeah, put
not.
some extra seasoning on it.
We just tossed it.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, it's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock.
Cheers.
Cheers. Woo, woo, woo. Nice and
Don't lie.
woo. Nice. Woo. So I know last week we talked about hiring employees, right? And hiring great talent, right? Finding
Yes.
great talent. But my question is, I really want to know how important it is for conflict resolution once you've gotten those employees in,
Right.
Right?
As you grow.
As you grow, yeah.
I personally believe effective conflict resolution is like essential for a business's success.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it can make or break an entrepreneur, I think.
Yeah.
With clients, with employees.
Yeah.
With partners.
With partners.
Yeah. In the professional, in the corporate space with colleagues, it can make or break.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I remember you saying something like sometimes as creatives, we don't have those particular corporate structures and those HR.
Right.
How
for
to
sure.
handle things properly. So it is important for you and your small business to still seek that knowledge so that you can be an effective communicator and a effective conflict resolution.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
It was
Coming.
It was
I'm going with it. Conflict resolutioner.
You know what the hell I did? But yes, it is.
I think it's just more so a problem solver.
Yes.
Problem solver. A great problem solver.
It's like that saying, like, I'm an artist, I'm sensitive about my shit. Well, you kind of got to take your emotions out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
To get the message across.
Definitely. Yes. If you want to grow.
If you want to grow and if you want people to hear you and not and not just look at you and watch you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the biggest thing is putting strategies in place.
Yes.
So even if you didn't come from corporate and you don't know like some of the avenues and the steps that you take to, you know what I'm saying, to handle certain situations and things, if you research different strategies and again what your state laws are and what are the things that you're capable of doing, then that's super, super important, right? But before even getting to the strategies and things that you should do, let's talk about conflict in business in general. Like, what are some things that we experience in small businesses that would be considered that? So we talked about last episode a little bit about some situations that you had with an employee. Hiring, yes. But I think maybe not getting along with clients or customer base, not exemplifying great customer service, not following all the policies and procedures, time and attendance. One big issue that I had was hygiene.
Damn.
You know what? And that is that one thing that every time it comes up with supervisors or like leadership, I'm always like, oh, I just hope I never have to address that because that is a tough one.
Yes. And you know, so it really wasn't too tough for me to have that conversation because I felt like I had training in the way that you talk about it. Only time that was a real big issue for me was when it was cultural based. So some cultures don't believe in wearing deodorant. And so it was like, what I'm supposed to tell her, you need to wear deodorant. And it was, of course, you know, you have to get direction from HR, but as small businesses, we don't have HR. We are HR. We are everything. So
But we have societal norms that, you know, the thing is, it can affect your peers. It's like, it can't affect your, colleagues. Yeah, it can't affect everyone else. So it's like, I understand that is
the standard.
Your standard, but there are cultural norms that you have to abide by.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially within certain industries.
Definitely.
Yeah, like it might not be so, but I just can't see any industry. Honestly, I'm thinking food service.
No, it's just
not an industry where it's okay. So my conversation was,
offensive.
I know that, you you don't or whatever, but there's other things that people can do. You can wipe throughout the day. You know what I mean? If it's hot, you're sweating.
Make this
you got to wash them clothes nightly, daily. Fresh clothes.
Yes.
Onion powder.
Hey.
I'm telling you.
So,
but that can affect your business in a terrible way because people are going to be like, "Oh, the service is great," but I cannot take that.
To smells.
Yes. Especially as Black women.
Yes.
We don't play about that.
No. Not one bit.
You can't even really smell like outside too good. Don't take the long way in the building.
My child.
Windows down.
Listen, my child works at the zoo.
Oh, baby.
So when she comes in the house, I'm like, first thing you do is drop them clothes. Yeah, she be like, you always say it smell like outside. What does outside smell like? The goddamn zoo, boo.
Definitely.
That's crazy. Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yes. And it's so funny when you become an adult yourself. You're like, the things that, the adults used to say to you, you're like, what is she talking about? Then you understand when you become an adult.
Definitely.
my grandmother has a saying, and you don't know what she's talking about when you're younger, but today, when that baby could be like, keep living. That's it.
That's it.
It's the most accurate statement ever.
Is. Yeah. Keep living.
Yeah.
You gonna figure it out.
You gonna figure it out.
Yes. So aside from being conflict with, say employees and, supervisor, there could be conflict with clients and customers. Yes, absolutely.
Vendors.
Partners.
Yes.
Partners.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Landlords.
Landlords. Yes, all of the above. How do we deal with some of that? Let's go with vendors.
Let's go with vendors.
I don't think I've ever had a conflict with
a conflict with a vendor would be like quality control. Like they miss quality control.
Yes.
So they sent you something that is not up to your standard, or they sent you the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because listen,
right.
Just think about if you have to, compensate your customer base or client base for things that go awry.
Exactly.
And so basically you want to be able to hold, you're going to hold yourself accountable with your customer and client base, right?
Yes.
But then you're going to communicate with your vendor or your manufacturer about what's not right, what's wrong.
I'm sorry, I just did like a hello. Oh. In the middle of you talking, I'm sorry.
You want to make sure that you hold your manufacturer or your vendor, accountable for those things too, because you don't want to just keep.
You can't take all the L's.
You can't take all the L's.
For sure.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So, I can remember when I had like a bad batch of like hair. Like I don't know what happened. It just.
When they just sent it like normal.
It just sent it like normal, but you don't know until it's actually
in your presence.
And a lot of times they
or in somebody's head,
right? And they knew when they sent it to you, they tried to get it off.
Say something
to say something
to address it.
Yeah,
because they don't want to take the loss.
No.
Take the
loss,
but you're gonna have to, because at the end of the day, like I'm taking a loss with my, I have to replace this.
Okay, so in those certain situations, when communicating with vendors, do you find that you get more of a better result when you sprinkle a little honey on the...
Absolutely. Your communication is everything, but also too, it's also that building of that relationship and that rapport. It's you are responsible for, and they're responsible for building the relationship. Obviously it's a partnership, right?
Yeah.
But you still, even though, I don't care how long you've been knowing the person, communicating in the sweetest, best tone, but professional and clear. Like
I see you.
Stop playing with me.
Send me the right
stuff. Just in the right way. You know what I mean? So you have to be assertive. You don't have to be aggressive, but you have to be assertive. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But also coming at it like giving them the benefit of doubt.
This
don't assume that they knew.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can remember when I first got in the game and they were like, "Oh, well, we can offer you a discount for the next purchase." No.
What about this one?
Replace.
Yes.
Replace.
Yes.
And so that was a lot of back and forth.
And was it a lot? That's what I was just about to ask.
It was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah,
because they have been scammed in the past, and
but
people
if
say
I send
this
it back
wasn't good.
to you.
But they don't know you from a can of paint either. You know what I mean? So it's like the hustle go on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's like as we're figuring each other out.
Yeah. So the relationship was it. Yeah. I think it was my communication too. Like you say, you have to communicate in the best way. Yeah. So off rip, they replaced it or whatever. But I know they were probably like side eyeing, like, okay, don't order no more stuff.
But also, when my order comes through again, pay it some more attention.
Because
you don't want to go through this again.
You don't want to have to see me, and we don't want to do this tussle.
Right.
Yeah.
So have that second. Have that second check.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think overall, whether if it's clients, partners, vendors, manufacturers, customer base, client base, your communication needs to be on point and professional and assertive, but not aggressive. And with the immense amount of respect.
Absolutely.
Well, basically what Ash saying, regardless if you think it or not, like communicating with people as if giving them the benefit of the doubt, as if this was an oversight or a mistake, or you just wasn't trying to play me, can get you a lot further, and just make people know that you're paying attention to the details. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Definitely.
Because they've done that 1,000 times. You just want to assume, but it hasn't been called out. So
and altering too.
What you mean?
Just altering. Sometimes you have to do self-checks. So like if somebody comes to you and says, "Oh, I have an issue with X, Y, and Z," right? You have to be honorable enough and professional enough to say, "Okay, maybe I need to check X, Y, and Z about myself, and alter that for the relationship to actually work.
Thrive, okay.
Yeah, to thrive and be beneficial for everybody. So you can't just automatically assume everybody's wrong and you're right. You know what I mean? So you know the saying, like, customers always right?
Yeah, it's not.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
No.
It's not true.
When you give service,
No, right is right.
Shit. Right is always
right. You always want to be professional and have excellent customer service, but a customer is not always right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Especially as like when you're a smaller business, like those little things matter.
Yeah,
like,
so
you can't really take no losses for real.
Right.
Yeah. Loss might take you out. That I learned that with just say you get sick. So us being solopreneurs, well. Yeah, not really a solopreneur, but kind of. Yeah, so solopreneurs. if I have a full book tomorrow and I'm genuinely sick, it's like you have that guilt, you have that fear of canceling that day.
Yes.
And it's like, so when I first got into lashes, it was like if I had to miss an appointment, I would comp the next one. But it's like, wait a minute, I can't take 2 losses.
I can't take 2 losses.
Exactly.
That was just us overcompensating.
Right. But there's a way to communicate that.
Yeah.
I actually had someone that I offered that. She was like, it's never free.
It's never free.
Yeah.
If I had a mishap or something, then I offered like a discount.
Absolutely. And it's at the register.
Yeah, it's at the register.
Right. You may not even know that it's coming, but it is my compensation to you for the inconvenience of it all. Yeah. We had something set.
Yeah. Sure.
But hey, like you said, I can't take 2 losses. It's
right.
I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. So like we said, assertiveness, communication. If you lack in that area, as we said, always education is always available for you. There's a class for everything. There's a course for everything.
Yes,
so
there's a YouTube university.
Okay.
For everything.
Yes. Align yourself in the best possible way so that your business can flourish. Having open dialogue and mutual understanding with the people that you work around and people that you work closely with is super important. Outlining your boundaries, as Deshae loves to talk about the boundaries.
Call me the being boundary, baby.
Man. Period.
It's super freaking important.
Yes.
In the corporate structure, I think also documentation when you're having conflict.
Yes.
So hold yourself accountable and hold them accountable if need be.
Yes.
In the future.
Yes.
Period.
You say documentation, we say
receipts. Listen, and if you guys are super serious about having that documentation, you drop a comment. I can always email you the documents that I use.
There we go.
Corrective actions, actual write-ups, and then
put them on a what is it?
A 90-day
plan.
A plan.
What is it called?
Performance
plan.
Performance. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But also too, aside from that, right? You know what helps eliminate some conflict is you doing reviews.
Yeah.
You doing reviews. So the 6-month review, the 1-year review. When I worked in a commission-based salon, we had a review every 3 to 6 months or something like that.
I could see that 90 days.
Yeah, because it was commission based, obviously. So you need to see if you're hitting your goals, your markers, your sales goals, whatever. So we had retail goals and we also had, client based goals. So so super important. Again, you have to see how your business is operating. No, how it's set up, right? So say for instance, like again, how we talked about W-2 employees or 1099s or whatever. You want to somehow, some way evaluate, but make sure that you're doing it the proper way. You mentioned a company that
they went under because
they weren't following the proper rules based on how they had their hiring system set up. Yeah,
and then the way they were recording the tax stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that also protects you. Doing evaluations and having the proper documents in place also protects you when it's time to say, hey, we're done, when it's time to fire. Because Georgia will need to see those documentation, and also too, you want to be able to have the conversation, say, on this date we had a conversation and I told you what will happen if this does not get done. So this shouldn't be a surprise to you that it's not done because you didn't do it.
Yes, and then
I told you what the standard is.
Surprised what the result.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
I already told you what was coming.
It's already told you what was coming.
And you signed that you knew, that you understood.
Yes. Removing the emotion out of it is super important as well. Yeah.
That's one of the main keys. And like you said, that is super hard sometimes when we're dealing in small business because it's so close to the vest and it's our babies.
Right.
But, you got to make things in black and white. And the better you get about making things in black and white and setting up those boundaries, the easier it is
definitely
be black and white and to be about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's only gonna sting you.
Just think mulatto.
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
Say it again.
Just think mulatto.
Just say it again, baby.
What?
Just think mulatto.
What
Kept saying black and white, so my
mind.
mind
I'm done.
I swear to God, at about 9 o'clock.
I don't think we good.
No good. The thing is, I woke up casual today. I did. I woke up a casual ass mood.
I'm actually just happy to be around y'all. My mood was such a shit ball before I got here. So
we love you.
I'm happy to be here with y'all.
Yes.
Girls.
That's good. A win is a win.
A win is
a win. Is a win.
A win is a win.
So what are some techniques for managing emotions? You want to tell you what I do?
What'd you do?
I literally be like, talking to myself, and I'd be like, God, give me peace. God, give me peace. God, give me peace. And I literally have to swallow that emotion that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Like literally swallow it so that I can properly speak to somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always better to just eat that, whatever that is about to burst through you.
Yeah. You know
what?
It
probably sets some stuff ablaze.
Yes.
And just think about it and literally reply calmly.
Yeah. I had a colleague who would slide my door open without saying, hey, is it okay for me to come in or whatever, and say the most outrageous things out of his mouth. And I literally was like, hey, close the door. Hey, how are you? Close the door.
Yeah.
You don't know who I have in my chair. You don't know the vibes or whatever. Like,
it's the governor's
absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I literally took the day to just like calm down and not say anything, whatever, because I'm like, okay, you do that to these people around here. You can't do that with me.
Yeah.
Right.
This level that's going on in here.
These levels is different.
It's different. So I literally took the day and then approached that person the next day, and was really assertive.
Yeah.
And, had a few choice words, and the person was apologetic.
Yeah.
And no longer does that. But I think taking that moment to just breathe and kind of get your wording together is super important.
They can hear you clearly.
You never go wrong when you take the beat.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
Because that way, in personal relationships, romantic specifically for me, the violation would be so great, but my reaction would be even greater. So we don't even get to talk
Nobody
about.
hears nothing.
We don't even get to talk about what you did to me. Like, what was the actual violation? My reaction is so grand.
It's so grand
that it just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You end up apologizing. Damn.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
So
facts. You always take the beat. You never go wrong taking a beat.
Yeah, taking the beat is, and I find that it calms me in a way that it like you said, just taking that time and breathing and come, because I'm more mad than I should be about something.
Yeah.
And then people still gonna be in there wrong.
Right.
Yes.
And it's like,
and you've just escalated it for yourself and for the,
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I say is let people be wrong by themselves.
Yes. Yes.
That's a bar.
Let people be wrong by themselves. Yeah. So it's super
just
important.
Step back. It feels intense in the moment, and it probably very much is, but exercise that ultimate boss or like entrepreneurial strength, because what also calms me is like, prior to owning a business, I would flip tables.
Yeah.
But now I've created such a good name for myself.
Yeah.
I've created such a good standard and such a good reputation. You're not gonna be, if it's somebody gonna tear it up, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On my own time, on
my own doing.
But you know what that's called? Emotional intelligence.
For sure.
Yeah. But I feel it only happened when I started something. And when I started something that was bigger than myself, and I got known for such a high standard of like service and a good experience, where I could take a step back, and it's like, things that would get me out of my pocket, they can't anymore, because I built a good name for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that.
And eat shit, bitch.
I think I think for Black women, or just women of color in general, when you work the corporate structure, you kind of learn some of that.
Yeah.
But it can almost be overkill, where you're like, suppressing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a way to learn how to be able to effectively communicate how you're feeling and what that boundary is without it being over the top. Because you're constantly being,
you're tested
constantly. And the rules the same rule that applies to her don't apply to you.
Exactly.
So you are constantly self-checking.
Yes.
So it is a little bit different though when you do transition to your own, into your own business. Some of that will come over, but you also have to be very assertive.
Yes.
You have to be very clear on what those expectations are.
I will also say, this is my own personal experience of being a shorter woman. It's not a. It is a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah,
I know what you're gonna say.
Is if people set you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm always exercising and flexing my knowledge or like just my expertise. Or it's, if I'm honest, it's a large part of why I wear heels a lot, to let people know that I am an adult and like don't play with me.
Yeah.
Because you meet a lot of women in your industry, especially when you get really good and you become an expert. You know that women's ages and expertise surpass you, so they talk to you in a sunning kind of term, and I'm constantly like flexing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and not in an aggressive way, in an assertive way. But don't play with me is always my vibe.
Yeah, I honestly feel, understand what you're saying, because a lot of times, especially with new clients, they'll come in and be like, da-da-da-da-da, just talking about the career, stuff like that, whatever. A topic will come up, and then I'll engage in the conversation with them. And they're like, oh, well, what did you do before this? So they just always assume, oh, you've always been a hairstylist. You've only been a hairstylist.
Oh, yeah.
No, baby.
No,
Yeah.
I've lived.
This is a choice.
Been around the world.
This is a choice. This was a fun thing for me.
This is a choice.
This was a fun thing for me.
Yeah.
This was a choice.
Yes.
I was able to
And you're here because of that level
And a great
of
choice at that.
Yeah, the background.
Yes.
Because of that background. You're here because of my background.
Ray kind of touched on that, her being younger than a lot of people that she employs.
Yes.
I feel that youngness, but I feel that with being shorter.
Being assumed that you're younger. Smaller.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so part of it is like when you're having conversation about whatever the conflict is, going into it without like being accusatory, going into it where this, like, if we can fix this, that helps us.
The us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, ending with a resolution.
Yeah,
or
solution based, because this benefits us.
Yeah,
like, I don't like when you do that, and that affects me in this. It affects us.
Yeah, and if we fix this, we can get to this goal.
Yes.
For us. Yes.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that's super important when you're having conversations in regards to conflict is setting up the conversation to say, this and this happens. If we fix this and this and this, we're going to fix it this way. And if we fix it this way, we'll together reach this goal.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It's mutually beneficial for us to fix this.
Yes.
Because we're in this together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So approaching things with a win-win outcome-based conflict
mindset.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So
instead of just going in and talking about, you did this, I don't like this, you shouldn't have done this, this is not policy, da-da-da-da, we da-da-da-da.
Instead of you did, I felt.
I felt.
Yeah.
And
or when this happened.
Right.
Yes.
Or when this, exactly.
Us in this way.
It affects the morale in this way.
But if you can curtail or fix this, it'll affect us in this positive way, and then we can get to XYZ goal quicker.
And you know the biggest word in that conversation is we.
We.
Definitely.
It's always we.
It's always we.
Because we are a team.
It's always we.
We.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a strategy, though. So even though that's a conversation, that's a strategy.
Yes.
Yeah. Letting the person know that we are a team.
Yes.
Right?
Sure. Always like emphasis on that we.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, a lack of morale or like a kick in morale, like that is going to affect everyone negatively.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody benefits from that shit.
At all.
Yeah.
From the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
benefits.
So.
And also giving them practical steps. You know what I mean? So like, let's make sure that these goals are attainable and reachable. Like don't just tell people a dream just for them to do better. You know what I mean? Like make sure that they are achievable within the team. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And then not being afraid to help people throughout that time frame. You know what I'm saying? Like not just putting everything on them. So it's like, even though I want you to be aggressive and say, for instance, like if it's in a beauty industry, market yourself, and I'm going to help you do all those things too. I just need you to put forth that effort as well. So it feels like a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of things are like top down. So like when I was working corporate, you would see, even if the team, like it was some bullshit going on here, going on there.
Yeah.
A lot of times the supervisor will take the fall because it's like you're not managing this stuff. You haven't reported this to corporate. You haven't reported this to HR. You take the fall because obviously you're not a great leader.
Yeah.
So it's like always considering like top down. Like if my employee is not doing XYZ, I need to be on top of that.
Yeah.
Because it affects the whole team.
The morale of the team.
Yeah.
Well, that's why supervisors are in place. There's supervisors, there's managers, there's team leads, all those things.
Yeah, somebody has to be responsible.
Somebody has to be responsible.
And for creating the vibe and like getting the information across and like getting the results back in, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, again, I've never worked at corporate structure, but like, why do some people get those managerial positions? It seems like sometimes it's just based off of time and being there and not necessarily like pulling
good leadership.
The best results from your people. You know what I mean?
So why do they get those positions?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it be on paper.
Yeah.
They done this and this job, and they, it looks great on paper.
Yeah.
But when you're physically in that position in that job, you're really
And
not
having
fit
to
for it.
exercise
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
And having to know how to deal with others and people is a different type of like technique, or not technique, but a skill.
And
skill
something
set.
that paper don't always prepare you for.
Exactly.
Because
it's like book smart and street smart.
Right. Great leadership inspires.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like people want to show up for you when you're a great leader.
Yes.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. One thing that we are responsible for as business owners, and even let's go down to say even if you're a manager in the space, right, is creating a positive work environment. So having the positive attitude. So sometimes your frustration, your stress, or your lack of positivity can create conflict in the workplace.
Yes,
absolutely.
Like we talk about, leadership is one thing, but fostering good relationships is another thing, right? So it's not about just doing the job. It's about being able to create great morale in that workspace, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is about the business, it's about the work, but we're people. You know what I mean? We are people.
We're people. Yes, we're
humans. So I find that in hiring, right, and being able to manage that. Again, not that everybody has to see things or has to have the experience that I have, but I have to work with a like-minded individual in the sense. Like, you're not so reactive towards certain things or certain
energies
things that you don't get, because I can't really tap into you in that way if I don't really care. It's one thing to like be comforting or caring about your family or your needs, because obviously we all have families and it's easy to care for. But like if something silly happened on, you know what I mean?
Also like the work comes first.
Yes.
And so once we can do that, we can tap into all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But that is priority.
Knowing how to leave it at the door.
At the door is the biggest key.
Yes.
And it's like one of those things that sometimes you can't teach. You know what I mean? So it could get a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. You really can't.
Yeah, you got to be able to check that stuff and like tap into what or even if you can't, like when somebody says, hey, you looking a little off, can you like, what do you say?
But that brings me to the next point though, preventing future conflict.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about that too though. It's like, say what you said again, like.
How do you tap into like, okay, I may not have been able to in that moment like check it at the door, but once somebody brings it to my attention, just like reel it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think that getting to know who you're working with is super important, right? So knowing their tics, what things that they will respond to or not. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's super important as well. That's part of being a leader and managing as well. It's like knowing what to say, what not to say. Knowing that this person probably can't work a 2 to 10 shift. They can only work, 7 to 3 a.m. because they're not evening people, whatever. You know, they're still the best, or they do their best work during these times or whatever. Or maybe you are only a 3 or 4 day worker versus a 5-6 day worker. You know what I mean? So that helps preventing future conflict, just knowing who you're working with and knowing how to manage.
And taking the time.
And also like picking them battles.
Yes. I had a HR manager who used to say that all the time. Like, some conversations just don't need to be had. She always used to say, like, one district manager wanted to write up this person so bad, but this person, when I tell you they sell.
That's what I was saying. Listen, that was me. I was late
on time.
every day.
They were never on time, but they will sell your goal.
That's me. That's me. It ain't even worth the conversation.
It's not even worth the conversation. Pick your damn battles. Yes, pick your battles.
Sis shows up.
My mama used to, and my mama was in leadership, but of course she has supervisors to say, she's like, I'm this good, 4 days off. You don't want me in the office. Like, if I'm this good like this,
just leave it as is.
Why would you? And they wouldn't. They wouldn't ruffle them feathers.
But you know what the advice I gave to that district manager? What? I was like, lie about the schedule. So if they're supposed to be there at 5, from 5 to 10, lie and say they're on from 3 to 10.
Right.
Or lie and say they're on from 4 to 10. So that means that they'll get there on time.
That's a fact. I used to live 5 minutes away from my property that I worked at.
And just was optimistic about your morning.
Every day. 15.
Listen.
Every single day.
How about you purchasing a home next to the airport, because you used to travel for a living, purchase a home next to the airport and still be late to your flights.
That's how it is.
That was me.
With OTF in the morning.
Yeah.
I probably live the closest to anybody in the gym. And I be running in 2, 5, 4, 5.
Listen, remember when I text y'all and I was like, they didn't let me in.
Yes.
Bitch, you late.
You real late.
12 minutes.
That's the one place that I'm barely late, because that one time they turned me around.
You was like,
that's also the thing too.
I'll
training
never be
people,
late again.
training people how to treat you.
Yeah.
You get a corporate space.
I will never be late again, baby.
Yeah. Because it feel bad. I think I went home that day, like, it just threw me off for the rest of the day.
People looking at me through the window was like, I was like, straight
I felt
molded.
shame.
Yes, super shame.
But I've been turned away at the door, not because of tardiness, but because the class was full.
Okay.
But all I did was run to the closest OTF because I had already taken a pre-workout.
And that's the day I got turned around.
Yeah. And that's when when
I had that
scenario.
Yeah. I had to find somewhere to burn this, because otherwise, so good thing it was one right down the street.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. God is good.
Yeah. So after, say for instance, you had a conflict, right? Mm-hmm. How do you get out of that conflict and fostering a better relationship with the person?
So I'm a big believer on or just a big practicer of once I say it, and then once it's said, it's kind of done. Mm-hmm. So it's easy for me if you hear me clearly and you show me through your actions and through your behavior that you get my message and it's clear. I'm never gonna harp on that energy. Yes, my good eye is on you. I'm watching. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm observant, but I'm not treating you like that offense. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
Or that particular conflict. I'm gonna move on.
Giving you a clean slate.
Giving you a clean slate as long as you show me through your actions, you respect what I said, you hear me, and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
So I personally am easy about once I get it off my chest and we discussed it, we're moving on.
Yeah. I think it's super important to, when there is an offense or a conflict, right, is to correct the behavior immediately so that it doesn't fester on, especially with a customer, you know what I mean? Because that, again, like you said, it can affect your business. So I feel like addressing things immediate. You'll be
presenting the day they show. You know what I mean? You see them on your schedule. It just affects everything. It's like, let's nip this in the bud for the benefit of both of us.
Let's nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
I have one example of that.
Okay.
So I went out of town a couple weeks ago, and I knew this one particular 9 a.m. client wasn't going to want any artist replacing me or to cover her. So just pushed her back to the next week. But we talked about it in person. Instead of coming on the 8th, I needed you to show up on the 15th.
Right.
So I shifted it, and maybe the email went through or not, but we stood there at my desk.
And had the
conversation, and then I switched it. And then on the 8th, while I'm out of town, she shows up to an appointment. And so, obviously, Trey is calling me like, hey, maybe reach out. She seemed really annoyed. And then when I finally look at my work phone, the message is really annoyed. So I respond back extremely assertive and just let her know, listen, I would never just shift anything without confirming with you in person or through text.
I know that for a fact.
We've been working together for a lot of years. Why would I just do that now? and you didn't receive a confirmation text from me the day before yesterday or any of that.
Knowing that that is a thing.
I apologize for the inconvenience, but I will be back in town on the 13th, and I hope to see you on the 15th. So on the 14th, when the confirmations go out, crickets. Ooh. So at about 9 o'clock, I send another text. Hi, can I confirm or cancel tomorrow at 9 a.m.? Let me know what works. Confirm. I'm sorry. Like, stop playing.
Stop playing with me.
I'm not your husband. I don't honor this attitude.
I don't respond to pretend
at all.
Tell me what's up.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
Got there that morning. I said, good morning. She comes in. She lays down. We listen to the show like nothing happened. Because I'm not buying in. You've been coming to me too long to know that I wouldn't just set you up.
I don't play that shit.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The anxiety I would feel. But stop ignoring me. Stop playing with me through this text. Like, you know I'm looking forward to this. You know there was a mishap. You know I'm confirming.
Right.
Just say
so don't be
like,
petty.
Don't be petty.
It doesn't go anywhere with me.
But also,
I'm not petty.
But take some responsibility. You know that we had this conversation. Just say you forgot.
Yes.
Just say you forgot.
Don't make it a me problem.
Yes.
Just say you forgot.
Send me all this stuff. I'm like, look, ma'am, you know I'm not just switching.
Oh, man, I hate that.
Reason. Yeah. But I felt proud about myself. I'm like, listen. And then that was one of the mornings that I made sure I was extra early because I want to be there when you show up because we've had a little bit of a tiff. Not for real, but you feeling spicy.
Yeah. So you can't have an extra hiccup.
Seriously. But I feel like addressing things head on is super important. I used to kind of be more relaxed with like my meetings with like employees. Yeah. I didn't try to make it like this big secret official thing, like show up when they're at the end of the shift and say, hey, come in the back room with me.
Right.
Unless I was firing somebody and I didn't want them to do things. Absolutely. Yeah. But I would like say, hey, let's have a chat on this day so that we can iron out a few little things so we can kind of go over some like housekeeping things.
So have you ever had an employee, like if after you've given that little disclaimer or whatever, like I'm setting it up, put me on your calendar, let's iron this out, them not show up in that moment for that?
No, I've never had that. So, only when they've gotten wind that they're going to get fired. They're going to be terminated. But I've never had that. But I know that somebody recently had that.
Yeah. And just people just, even with that notice.
That sucks.
Yeah,
it's extremely
it's just
unprofessional.
Like, for lack of respect, like I'm doing everything to honor you.
Yeah,
and giving you notice to show up for me.
Yeah, but you're taking this lightly, I guess, because it's artistic and we're stylists, but it shouldn't be taken that way.
It shouldn't be taken that way.
Because the thing is, we know the person that happened to, right? We all now know. Yeah. So you never know what's going to happen when you circle back around. You know what I mean? Like, how that's going to affect you later.
Absolutely.
I don't give a damn how great of a stylist you are. That turns me off.
Yes.
I don't want to be a client of yours. I would never hire you.
Yes. If that's your MO, if that's how you do business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because it's like, why are you not communicating effectively?
Yes.
If there's something on my end, you know, as your supervisor, as leabership, like, why are you not communicating that?
And why do you feel the need to just not show
That's
up?
another thing, though. Instead of like talking about it back and forth with your coworkers, you need to be talking to the person that you have the issue with.
That you have the issue.
And I also think like you shouldn't address issues between, like, say for instance, if it's between you and the employee or two employees in front of the entire like staff. No. I had a hairdresser. You won't get
no good results.
No, not at all. I was gonna say I had a hairdresser come up from Columbus, Georgia, and I did her hair, and she was telling me about, you know, her closing her salon and the issues that she had. And then she had two employees at a salon meeting actually get into a physical altercation because they were trying to address the issues. And in my mind, I would have maybe talked to them individually first, and then maybe had a small meeting with the three of us. You know what I mean? Oh, my mouth was such a thing. A small meeting with the three of them, and maybe not, because you know sometimes people like to.
It's just an ego.
Well, people like to show out.
When you have an audience,
you have an audience.
Yeah.
So minimizing the space, I think it's super important. Yeah.
Minimize the space. Make it as private and like you know.
Yeah. But.
Sorry.
One class that I would say handles this is a human resources class.
Really?
Yeah. That's something that you guys can like Google or look for a human resources class, because it's going to It's going to tell you again your state laws. It's going to tell you about how to deal with conflict resolution. It's going to tell you about how to have those certain conversations, what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Yeah. And give you good insight.
Because you could be sued on saying the wrong things.
You sure can.
Yeah.
You sure can.
Yeah. Even in Georgia.
I'm joking.
You definitely can.
I have I won't say the business, but I have a client who is out of work on mental health because her supervisor kept making comments about her hair. So,
yeah. So you
be careful.
Yeah.
Can't say nothing about nobody hair now.
We are in 2023 though. So
yeah, I
don't
know if hair is protected. Yeah, I don't know if hair is protected.
Laws.
Did they? Okay.
They just passed the laws.
If it grows out of your head that way?
I'll show you the law.
It's something new.
Yeah, it started in 2019, and the law just officially got passed in the majority of the states.
That's good.
Last month.
Yeah, that's good.
Ooh. Yeah.
I guess when I was talking about like protected, I mean like federally protected. But no, that makes sense. The thing is, we losing federal protections every day.
Every day.
We talk about that. Federal protections.
Every day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Listen, thank God we are out here on our own, making our own ways.
Yeah.
Making our own ways and waves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what about like firing clients? Have you guys had to fire clients?
Oh yeah, remember we talked about that in another episode. Okay. Yeah. About having other people edit your conversation, how you fire.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you have to do it sometimes if it's not a good fit.
That's my first sentence.
Yeah, we are no longer.
I appreciate you for coming and me being able to service you, but I feel as though we are not a good fit.
Yeah,
it's always the wording.
It's always
it's that recommendation of that get them in the end. They feel the jab by.
Yeah,
and I recommend. Yeah, because it's like if I can't make you happy, I just can't make you happy.
I can't.
Yeah, there's no need in us stressing each other out.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
So
one lady had commented on the quality of my adhesive, and I was letting her know like I don't have a problem with it, and I don't intend to change. So if this doesn't suit you, I feel like we're no longer a good fit, and so I said it all politely.
I'm not going to go purchase more adhesive for one person, but go ahead.
No, and it's not even that. It's like you're just giving me that because you're dissatisfied with whatever the information is right now, because I don't have hyperallergenic issues or any big issues, and I back my stuff with I wear my stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not just what I'm serving.
Was it multiple times
No, it was just a result. She's not getting a good experience with the adhesive because she is another eyelash artist and thinks that I care about her schedule when she shows up to me 30, 45
so it has
minutes
nothing to do with anything.
Exactly. You're not getting a full application. You're not getting the best of me because you show up behind. But anyway, so she gets off of my schedule.
Baby.
And
it's like, if you're cool with that, if you're cool with getting whatever I'm giving you, fine. We don't have to talk about it. But the moment you make it an issue.
Exactly. We don't fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about what your schedule was. You confirmed this time with me. Like, cancel them. I don't know. I don't know what you got to do. But you're only getting this last 45 minutes.
We're beauty professionals. Sometimes we have to carve a day out.
Yes, you do. But and then I am super understanding of circumstances.
Yeah.
But every time I can't play with you. So anyway, I gave her the rundown. It's like I'm not intending on changing anything. So if this is dissatisfying to you, don't maybe I'm not a good fit for you. Da 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 da. And then she was like, yeah, I hear that, but I would change that glue. All right. And at that point,
it seems like
it was a thank you.
Thank you.
So as these episodes go on, it seems as though like you don't really have issues with customer base. You have issues with people who are more like colleague based.
More peer based.
And that's why she said like showing up, these heels on. Sometimes y'all be trying to sun me.
Yeah. Literally show up, and it's not clients.
Yeah,
it's peers in the industry
who are clients.
Exactly, who have become clients, and you're here for a reason, but you're giving me all of this shoulders back and all of this energy, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Baby, don't come if you are.
Yeah,
never mind.
But they want the word.
I was gonna say something else.
They want the word.
I was gonna say something.
So just submit to the process.
Right. Play with it. Don't play with it.
At the end of the day, everybody, it doesn't get them far. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't react. And I'm not your homegirl, so I don't care. So, whatever.
That's okay.
Tell the story. My favorite thing is tell the story however you need to be told. My reputation, is good.
That's so funny.
Yep.
Whatever makes you sleep good.
Literally.
I'm okay.
Cheers to that.
That part.
Cheers. All right, guys. So it's super important for us as entrepreneurs and small business owners to apply these, steps and procedures and things of that nature, and to making sure that we are knowledgeable on how to deal with the conflict.
Because it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, and it can make or break your business, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
So if you're not in tune with how to deal with these situations, if you feel like you're not emotionally intelligent, which is a self-check thing, getting the help and doing the proper education is super important.
And not being afraid of it, too, because it's like, it's only going to grow you. Like, it's only going to help, overall.
Yeah. And it's not something that you have to do out loud. You can take this class in private.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So... super important.
But also just not looking at conflict as such a negative. It's only going to help in the long run.
And strong. Make you more confident.
As a great business owner.
Yeah, like now it's like, and then you create systems around them. It's like when that conflict happens, when that situation happens, I know how to respond because I've done it before.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's no longer a issue.
Yeah, it's not a shock. It's not a surprise. You've dealt with this before.
Yes.
You have a solution for this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the saying that we can take away from this is business is not personal.
No.
It definitely is not.
Business is business.
But don't let nobody play you.
But don't let nobody play you.
Yeah.
Have boundaries like a mother.
Yeah.
Yes. Business is business. Always look at it as such. Even if the business is personal, it's still
a business.
Yes. And always treat it as such and operate in that way so you don't have to take those lingering feelings away with you. Set the standards, set your boundaries, put systems in place, and learn from the conflict, learn from the situations that you've been in, and plan around that so you never have to feel that angst or that anxiety. And it overall, like you said, makes you a better communicator.
Elevates you.
Yeah. And sometimes if it's the same thing you keep dealing with for multiple clients or multiple people, peers, maybe
it might be you.
That means that your business... That might be. It is. Align your business in the proper way. Yes. Align it in the proper way.
Yes. Yeah. It probably most likely is.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
But you gotta be aware.
But it's fixable. So everything is fixable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything is fixable.
Yeah.
So
1000%.
Well, you guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 25.
Thank you so much.
Again, we appreciate everything that you guys have said in the comments. Every like.
Every comment, every share.
Every share.
Every view,
and if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? What's tea?
It's so
What's
easy.
Tea?
It's literally like,
all right,
subscribe.
Do y'all love us or do you not?
Or,
I mean.
Matter of fact, go do it now.
Is it real?
Right
do it
now.
now.
Is it now?
Do it now.
Yes.
Is it real? Show me.
Show me it's real.
Prove it.
Prove it. Actions, okay?
Okay.
Actions breed love.
Yes. And that's what we respond to.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you guys again. See you next time for episode 26.
We love you.
Hey girl, thanks for listening. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.